Adoatv, bringing good things to life.
Hello there, good morning, and thanks for joining us on today's news bulletin. This is the AM News coming to you live from our studios at the John Evans Fifiate Mills High Street in Accra. We are also streaming live on Facebook at Adoatv Ghana, on YouTube at Adoatv GH, and around the world at adoanewsonline.com. My name is Jonathan Amanal. Coming up in this bulletin, a civil society group has admonished that Ghanaians must not be made to pay for a government's incompetence. Also in this bulletin, the Minister for Fisheries and Aquaculture, Honorable Hawa Kumsen, is on the news again as she has stated that they plan to address EU yellow card warning. Also in this bulletin, in the Savannah region, 9 dead in a gory accident in Gindabo. We have the details of that and more right in the news bulletin. Do stay. Thanks for staying with us. Remember, this is your hub of comprehensive and compendious news. My name is Jonathan. I'm now to our very first story. Civil society group Justice for Ghana, led by former PNC chairman Bernard Mona, has presented a petition to Parliament to withdraw the 2022 budget and economic policy, indicating that the budget is insensitive to the plight of Ghanaians and making demands for a complete withdrawal of the e-levy. The demonstrators, who had earlier indicated to pitch camp at the forecourt of Parliament, marched from the Kwame Nkrumah interchange through the Adabaka-Kingsway Highway to Parliament.
Ghanaians have suffered during the recent sit-down strike by drivers. The effect of fuel prices that skyrocketed because many of the nuisance taxes on a litre of petrol are simply unbearable. Unfortunately, the hardship confronting the Ghanaian taxpayer is sharply contrasted by the lavish lifestyle of the president and appointees. Most projects in Ghana have grounded to a halt, except the president's priority of priority projects, the National Cathedral, and, of course, the Rebecca Akufo-Addo Foundation. Not even the Agenda 111 hospitals have survived the difficulties. Government flagship programs, including the Year of Rose and NAPCO, have suffered from government's inability to pay because Ghana is broke. Ghana's entire coastal line is at the front line of the climate change battle. Yet President Akufo-Addo ignored the Sea Defense Wall project, effectively throwing an invitation to the tidal waves to take over Ghana. Government will not have to go to the IMF for a bailout if it ends corruption, plundering of the public purse, and pursues policies that efficiently utilizes the resources of Ghana for the good people, or the good of Ghanaians, not government officials. We will rather occupy Parliament today and continue the occupation till our MPs on both sides of the political divide put the Ghanaian people above their partisan interests. We hope that Parliament will speedily pass a new 2022 budget, and we hope you will do so. That speaks to the aspirations of the Ghanaian and make it unnecessary for us to extend our occupation of Parliament to include and occupation of the presidency too. Take note that hardship has no color. Take note that hardship does not respect professions. It doesn't matter whether you are a parliamentarian. It doesn't matter whether you are a professor at the university. It doesn't matter whether you are a general or a police commissioner or a farmer or a trader. The mobile tax will heavily affect every one of us. We also pray that our House of Chiefs will begin to speak without timidity on the suffering of all of us. We are resolved. We pray that the plea of Ghanaians as articulated in this petition will be addressed by the leadership of both sides of Parliament in the supreme interest of Ghana and Ghanaians at large. Aluta continua. Victoria Aseta. God bless our homeland, Ghana.
The first Deputy Majority Whip, Honorable Lydia Sairam Alasan, who received the petition on behalf of the Speaker, says the issues in the petition are currently being addressed, and she thinks that the Finance Minister has done a yeoman's job. She also assured that the petition will be submitted to the Speaker. She was supported by colleague Honorable Ibrahim Ahmed, the first Deputy Minority Whip.
We received the petition on behalf of the Speaker of Parliament, and I can assure you that the issues raised here will be critically looked at. I want to say that you are all aware that most of the issues raised here are being addressed. In fact, this is the only time in the history of this Parliament that the Minister has presented a budget and will come back to the House to say that I want to review the budget that I have presented to the House. I think he has done a yeoman's job and he should be applauded for that. The issues raised here are being addressed. E-levy. There are so many up and coming teeming youth here who have brilliant ideas, fantastic ideas. All that they need is a little support to put all those wonderful ideas into. Not now. So, thank you. The Speaker will receive the petition. Thank you for coming.
As we all know, Parliament is a forum for ventilation of grievances. Sure. So if anybody has a problem, this is a forum to ventilate that grievance. We are not here on our own. We represent you. And procedurally, once a petition has been presented through leadership, it will get to the Speaker and the matters in it will be duly addressed. So we are lucky we have chosen the path of democracy, where we will register our displeasure and seek redress.
So that was excerpt of what transpired in the early hours of yesterday. But away from that, Minister for Fisheries and Aquaculture, Honorable Mavis Awakumsin, has assured Parliament and Ghanaians that her ministry is planning to address all the concerns raised by the European Union within 24 months. She highlighted some of the measures to be taken to address the issues, accounting for the yellow card. She presented the statement on account of a question filed by the Member of Parliament for Ifitu, Mr. Afenyo Markin, on critical measures her ministry is implementing following the second warning issued by the European Union.
Mr. Speaker, on this rising, I crave your indulgence to ask the Minister for Fisheries and Aquaculture Development what critical measures are being implemented following the second warning issued by the European Union for Ghana to definitively check illegal, unregulated fishing activities within its economic zone. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Mr. Speaker, Ghana was issued with a warning or threat to be issued yellow card on June 2nd, 2021 by the European Union for being identified as a non-compliant country in the fight against illegal, unreported, unregulated fishing. The issues raised included the weaknesses in the fisheries law, outdated marine management plan, non-implementation of closed season, illegal transshipment at sea cycle, weak enforcement of vessels cited for infractions, among others. Mr. Speaker, Ghana has planned to address all the concerns raised by the EU within 24 months. Below are the critical steps undertaken. Ministry of Fisheries and Aquaculture Development set up a dialogue mission with EU to address the issues. The first meeting between the two parties was held on 23rd July 2021, where EU was briefed on the plans to address the concerns and the status of addressing the concerns. The ministry sought cabinet approval to draft a new Fisheries Act to meet all international obligations. Cabinet advised that the Fisheries and Aquaculture Policy 2008 should be reviewed to form the basis for the review of the current fisheries law.
Now, in a related development, addressing the press in Parliament yesterday, Minister for Fisheries and Aquaculture, Honorable Mavis Hawa-Kumsin, indicated that her ministry provided some relief items to fisher folks who were affected by the close season. She hinted that some of the relief items included 15,000 bags of rice, 6,250 cartons of cooking oil, other fishing inputs such as fishing nets and subsidized outboard motors. She also hinted on the review of the fisheries law by the ministry to check some more practices in the sector and also assure that the distribution of premix fuel will be automated to reduce concerns raised.
Some of the issues were, what are we doing in regards to the warning of yellow card from the EU to Ghana? And then the other one too was, what did we do to support the fisher folks during the close season, if the close season too was successful? And then, what are we doing to fight illegal, unregulated, and unreported fishing? So I will take them one after the other. During the close season, we supplied the fisher folks with some relief items, and I have mentioned the number of bags of rice that we distributed to them. 15 bags of rice, and then 15,000 bags of rice, and then 6,250 cartons of cooking oil and other related fishing inputs like fishing nets, outboard motors, and outboard motors were subsidized by government, heavily subsidized by government. So these were some of the reliefs that we gave to the fisher folks. And then, as regards to the issue of a warning yellow card to Ghana, the ministry, in collaboration with EU, has set up a dialogue committee, and we are collaborating. The issues are, what are we doing to stop the illegal activities? So Ghana, we are working with the EU, and what we are doing is to provide the EU team with our measures that we're going to take. One, I've mentioned that the government has given approval for us to acquire patrol boats with research vessel. With the patrol boats, we can fight the fishers on the sea. And then we also have the law enforcement unit together with the Navy. We work with them, and we are giving them the necessary support to also fight those doing the illegal activities. We're also providing the fishers with the approved fishing nets, as I mentioned earlier on, because some of the illegal fishing also comes with the illegal nets that they use in fishing. So we're giving them the approved fishing nets. Apart from that, we also enforce our land patrol, and we've also banned cycle. In fact, since we started, or after they resumed the fishing after the close season in September, we have not had any report of cycle as we speak. So these are some of the things we are doing in response to the EU's sanction. With the regards of the pre-mixed fuel too, we have also responded that government is making sure that every landing beach has sufficient pre-mixed fuel. But the issue is also about hoarding of pre-mixed fuel. And so very soon, we will be automating the supply of pre-mixed fuel. And every fisher who is supposed to have the pre-mixed fuel will be issued with a card on which the subsidy will be placed on, and then they will use that one to draw the pre-mixed fuel. I believe when we do this, it will help us reduce the hoarding of pre-mixed fuel and the diversion, because at every time we will know the quantity of fuel in the tanker or the reservoir. This is what we are doing to stop the hoarding and then diversion of the pre-mixed fuel.
So that was the Minister for Fisheries and Aquaculture, Honorable Mavis Hawakumsin there. Now, away from Parliament, let's move up north to the Savannah region, as 9 people, including a toddler, have been confirmed dead in an accident in Gindabo in the Sola Tunakauba district of the Savannah region. According to the police, the driver of the wire-bound VVIP bus with registration number GT569315 allegedly lost control over the steering wheel and veered off the road. 9 are feared dead and several others injured. The vehicle, according to eyewitnesses, somersaulted and entered a ditch, leading to 9 casualties. The police command is currently investigating the cause of the crash. Meanwhile, the injured have been transferred to the Wa Regional Hospital and are receiving treatment. The dead have been conveyed to the Wa Municipal Hospital mortuary, while those with injuries are responding to treatment at the same facility. Let's still stay on the matter. Our regional correspondent Nuruddin Ibrahim spoke to the Savannah Regional Police PRO, Inspector Ajekumusu. Let's listen to the voice of the PRO.
One driver called Nuhu was in charge of a VIP bus traveling from Accra to Wa. On reaching Jindabo, he veered off the road and collided with a tree. And the tree ripped off almost half of the vehicle, even half, not almost, half of the vehicle, from the driver's side to the last passenger at the back. Fortunately, the bus was carrying only 18 passengers. So out of the 18 passengers, 9 died at the spot, and 9 also sustained various degrees of injuries, including the driver. So the victims, the injured ones, have been sent to Wa Government Hospital for treatment, whilst the dead ones were also conveyed to the same hospital.
Here at Adoatv, in our quest to leave no stone unturned in this said matter, our regional correspondent Nuruddin Ibrahim spoke to the owner of the bus in the next interview.
Masa no kre kan me na yeka owner anopa we na me wo fie no mo frɛ me sɛ me ka anya accident wo fridge nda boy ba nwale ana me de ba ya no kre omosi ni pa 9 na we instant driver no de omosi na ba hospital but omosi hospital no so bisa wo but yenye nko ho let's say duru ho na ye benim sɛ no kre na sɛ nye no kre asame me wo no no
so mu a wo ho happy
asame ba me trim de let's nyame mentimi nka sɛ ni se according to me bisa nipa bi omosi budget na 2 year but minimum say no let's say media minika no let's meet no driver na beka na nyame say no kra say nya no kra mentimi nka intimate no so ba ko a opa obetum have bisa no
so a lot number of
GT 5693 that's 16
VIP
no but any day any VIP but here dey na twa VIP gu so ye to no free Kumasi last year no but ye ko to any VIP ni tare so enti yan pepa so Medindi Mustafa
accident tola accident enti minti menka se ne se na ba ana accident na ba me so metina ka no mu de me hu se na ka na balance akowuro ewuro na yenye na pese yempie nti me pie no na me hu me master na order form ka na asie na me pie akote na kwan no o na metena na me master ba ko okoforo ka no be frame se membra na emba hospital nti yebe dura na sisi mentimi nka dia menine buo nipa na ewu ne menine buo ba me yeso emodo so ebe dure omo betuma adure 6 ana mentimi nka me ana ma pra kakra gafaru.
May the souls of the 9 departed rest in the bosom of the Lord, and to the others injured, may they receive a speedy recovery over there. Now, away from that, it is said, after election, no campaign, which means once power is vested into a particular party, no administration after an election. All that is left is assessment and constructive criticism. It is on the back of this that Adwa News spoke to some Ghanaians on what their take is on the performance of various sector ministers, especially during the second tenure of the Akufo-Addo-led administration. And the next report by Emmanuel Wilson has more.
On 7 December 2020, 17 million Ghanaians were registered now due to vote, were expected to go to the polls and exercise their franchise to choose their preferred candidate both for parliamentary and presidential. On the D-Day, yes, Ghanaians went to vote. They chose their preferred candidates for both presidential and parliamentary. 1 year down the line, Adoatv went out to ask Ghanaians whether or not they regretted their choices for both parliamentary and presidential, especially presidential, and here is what they had to say.
Media, American say, one say up to date. Sa factories ni sa ni amana all kano. Still, me who be. I'm here now be judge no from 1 year, but on one or what so I sent to a banman be. It's media. I am one. Na what could be such a bemo budia. I obvious some bemo who be beer bet me at the age now. So who can see a number can say free education. Free education is not and only how once our power. It is we can now the free education and the behavior. Bet me, I'm back to school, all right, free. nanso bibia ni ho a mama brabo no metimi aka say bia aban ba so ayem fa so dia mama because niam ani yeton ewa ha sisi a o de kobisa book ba ko bo sisi because ono aban na nkasa si waye book ba ko ama student aye 78 Ghana cedis meanwhile na Oba market a book no na 38-40 cedis enti aban we de no any policies bi o de ba the American say me who so no correct.
However, that is not my focus. Today's focus is on whether or not you want a change in ministerial appointees. Do you want the health minister changed? How about the minister for lands and natural resources or the education minister? The minister for energy, who do you want changed? We went out once again to ask Ghanaians who their preferred candidate or minister is, who they want changed, who they want replaced, who they want maintained, and this is what they had to say.
Dear commitment sene juma aso meni kaka eye education minister oba sisi ona de me to compare the last one now no quite say we bandia kono ye better aye current one de ono ye change de no call ye no ntande me bom sema no de ka omo mana kokra oh de mana kono ye ene kaswa de no kaswa MP no kumsin
Minister for
Fishes Mumunya ko mumbo tunu out kra me mpɛ no
Kofa do ni ministers no me wo Ablekuma West na Osla Kofu no ho in fact me no ye djuma wa bem ba ni constituency na wo ni de e ho no madjuma pa de enkodo nti me mom nya me se kan kwal se ye to aba biem na se obi fufron ko begina ama aka Osla ho anche Osla den ka mapede bo yi nefi dan so ma nyan Ablekuma South ho Ablekuma West ho Sunday so we boto aba ye 2 weeks to the time we boto aba na ye hunu ho after that ye hunu bie wa just 4 years.
Interesting opinions, they say, are like noses and everyone has it. These are the opinions of Ghanaians on various sector ministers in the second administration of the Akufo-Addo-led administration. On that very note, this is how we bring the curtains down on today's edition of the AM News, right from our studios at the John Evans Fifiata Mills High Street in Accra. For more news, do well to log on to our website on adoanewsonline.com. Until then, my name is Jonathan. Have a wonderful morning and enjoy the rest of our programs.